This is the video talking about structure and design. In structure and design, we are going to look at 4 components. The structure and design of your classroom and learning environment is essential to the success of everything you want your students to accomplish in the classroom. The first component is naming your problems. A few years ago, I looked around my classroom and I started to notice a lot of problems, such as clutter, out-of-place items, and even items I didn't need in my classroom at all. The biggest step I needed to do was to recognize the problems and make note of them. It was important that I did this so that I could start to move forward. The next step is making the change today. It was important that I could look at something like my classroom closet and make some adjustments to turn it into something like my classroom library. This way, I gave students more opportunity to use the space that was naturally provided by the building structure. The next place I looked was my classroom. I thought, if I could change the spacing, I could really open it up and make this something wonderful for all learners. In fact, the two of us decided to turn our 2 classrooms into 2 open spaces for all to use. Our goal was to turn our classrooms into their classrooms. With some rearranging and some good conversations, we were able to structure the 2 environments into spaces that the students felt comfortable flowing back and forth in a very fluid way. We wanted to create our self-sustaining environment. This allows us to give the responsibility to the students. All responsibility is student-driven. Under this model, students are motivated to work with one another as peer coaches. The structure and design factors into this because without the separate, fluid, flowing environments, students wouldn't have this freedom to work. Our routines and schedules are highly conducive to making sure that this is an environment that all students can feel comfortable in and learn together. As teachers, we have turned the classroom over to the students. They are no longer a guest in our classrooms because they've taken ownership over the space. By using Edmodo as an additional learning environment, we're able to give the students access to ourselves and to their peers not only during the school day, but outside the walls of our building. They have this access 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It really helps create a culture and a community in and out of school. Another way we have restructured our learning environments is by turning over our traditional filing cabinets used to store teacher information to the students and allowing them to have files to store their important information. Students have a file for each subject, including one for iSolve, where they keep their math life. This frees up space within the classroom because all students don't need a desk with their name tag on it. Structure and design also plays into our transitions within the 2 learning environments. This gets students up and moving around very fluidly and for a purpose. Without our classroom structure the way it is, this would not be possible. We have maintained an authentic environment while enhancing it with digital technology. In review, naming your problems is the first step. You have to take note of what you would like to change. Next, you need to do something about these problems. Don't put it off or the change will never happen. Use these steps to turn your classroom into their classroom. And finally, work to have an environment that is self-sustained. This can't all happen at once, but you must begin somewhere. Make note of the baby steps you can be working with tomorrow, steps for the next few weeks, and then look at projects that will lead to a future of big changes over time.